But what I know for
Sure.
sure is you're going to be in business analysis because you're almost there, your communication is good, you're already working, and you just got to know the essential of business analyst, and I'm here to help you out with that, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so let's start. I just made this presentation today. I was working and I thought I'll teach you something, what exactly happens. So I was working on this while I was working. So of course my manager won't like if he finds the thing I do when I'm free today. But what happens in the corporations, there are different roles, right? I said that there's a project manager, there's a developer, there's a QA, maybe there are like some your business owners like on the top of you who are giving you directions how to do this, how to do that, you know. So there is a guy called product manager. Okay, so some kind of project, before it comes to your project manager, for a company, that project is also a product. Okay, so my company is Blue Cross Blue Shield, right? So Blue Cross Blue Shield wants to come up with a new insurance plan that it wants to sell to people in Minneapolis only, in the area that you live right now. So Blue Cross Blue Shield is introducing a new plan that is saying, I only want to include people who are below 30 years old and who live in Minneapolis area. Because I want to give them better rates than the competitors. That's the plan of Blue Cross. So that itself is a product. That new insurance plan, that policy we call it in the insurance world, that policy, that plan, or whatever you call it, is a product for the business. They're selling that product, and in return, by selling that product, they expect some kind of profit in their business. So now the business has told given you direction that, okay, I want to sell, again, I'm repeating that, to sell insurance to students, okay, who are below 30 years old and who are living in Minneapolis area right now.
Okay.
So now, as a business analyst, it's your job to go get because within that one sentence, there are hundred of different requirements. You can say, when you say students, are you targeting community college students, or are you only saying master's students, or are you also going to be including the PhD students, or are you saying science faculty, or you're saying management faculty? Those are the questions that as a business analyst you should be able to question the business or your team. You know, you cannot just be satisfied with one-liner. It is okay for other people because they are not going into detail, but since your title itself says business analyst, you have to analyze the business. You have to analyze each and everything that you are passed on by your seniors, by your business owners. Okay? So if you look at the first slide here, so it says business analyst versus product manager. That's why I wanted to compare so that you know what is a business analyst, you know. So I'm saying even if the requirement documents are not returned, okay, even if the requirement documents are not returned, there needs to be someone who decide that what should be included in the software and what should not be included and what priorities should be assigned. Like I said, just one very vague statement saying that I want to include this students is not going to help you. Okay, so you have to find the other questions like you know, they're saying like somebody, I live in Minneapolis right now. I'm a student there. Okay, so I bought the insurance plan today. What if I move to New York tomorrow? Will my plan still be valid? I mean, I followed all the rules, right? I bought it when I was a student. I bought it when I was below 30 years of old. And I bought it when I was in Minneapolis. I paid for a year. Okay? So after a month, I paid for the year in advance. Now after a month, I moved to New York. What's going to happen to my policy? Will they going to be canceling and refunding me the money? Or will they be allowing me to keep my policy as it is for them?
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound a little bit kind of question to you? So
Yeah, definitely. Exactly.
those are the questions, Purnima, you as a business analyst should be able to question. You should never be satisfied with one-liners. You should be never be satisfied with what your seniors tell you. Everything they tell you has like so many other downstream impact. We call it downstream impact. It comes from the top, but for the people working below, there are like so many other factors that you have to decide, okay, how can I implement it?
Mm-hmm.
Giving all very easy for your seniors, but for you, since you are helping so many other QA developers and whatnot, your role is very responsible, very important to answer all the requirements.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm saying there has to be someone who decides what should be included and what should not be. You should be able to detailedly say that this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You should do this, but you should do this. We just the is like it's like open question. You can there's no how many things you're going to do. You have a limit to how much you are going to do, and you have to set a limit what you are not going to do strictly. You're creating a line between to do and not do list. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so that goes into your business analyst requirement document. So, so the product manager introduces a new product, and he tells you what a product should look like and how you should sell it and where he's going to sell it. He already told you he's going to sell it in Minneapolis. He's going to sell it to students who are 30 years old. But he's only thinking about outwards, right? He's thinking about selling into the market and getting more customers. And at the end of the day, he's trying to make profit out of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you are thinking in a different way. Now you're thinking inside the company. You are thinking, what is the best way that you can channel this work? What is the best way you can make this work a systemized work, you know? So I'm saying here, the main difference between the product managers and the business analyst is that the latter is inward facing. That means the business analyst, you don't have to go to the market, but you have to sit in your desk and you have to think about what is the complications that if my business owner is telling me if I have to sell this product to only 30 years old and the people who are only living in Minnesota, then what could be the problem? You have to think inside within the company's, what do you call the parameters, like you're saying, my members are there. They are 30 years old, below 30 years old. I sell them a policy today. I sell them an insurance plan today. But after a month, they're going to move. So what is the business going to do for them? So you have to ask this question. You have to get the answer from the business. The business will say, no, if they will move, then we'll cancel their plan. We're not going to refund them money. That is their decision. But you have to ask the question. And then when you get the answer, you'll put that answer into your business requirement document, okay? So that's why I said you don't go out in the market, but instead of that, you decide, you just analyze the process within your company. You don't go out of your company, you don't go out in the market. That is the job of the marketing people, right? Selling a product is a job of salespeople. But your job as a business analyst is to analyze how easily, how perfectly, how systemized way you can do the job that is given to you by your seniors who are the business owners of the company. Okay? So I'm saying business analysts look inside the company. They look at the processes and practices inside a single company and how it can be improved through the use of the software technology. So every requirement you get from the business today has to be reasonable, has to be something that can be that can be implemented by the developer, something that can be tested by the QA, something they can understand in the technical language as well. You cannot just give me vague you cannot give me vague requirement. You cannot tell me 10 different requirements, do this, do that, do this, but I'm not being able to capture those requirements. If as a developer, our company doesn't have a database of like, for example, Blue Cross Blue Shield. You work for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Minnesota, okay? So your company is not tracking who is a student and who is not a student. And your company, your business owner is telling you we're going to sell it to students. Now, how are you going to find out who is a student and who is not? It is a problem there, right? So,
Right.
Problem. So that is the thing. When it says you have to look the practices and how this can be improved through the use of software technology. So to be able to sell it to the students, you have to find out, is your company able to distinguish your members by students wise, by their occupation wise, or not? You have to go talk to the people who are managing your data warehouse. You have to tell them, hey guys, I just got this requirement for the business. They are telling me that we only have to sell this to the students, but how are we going to distinguish them? Do you have anything indicator saying that this is a student? And the data analyst will say, let me take a look at it for me. Let me find out. Then he will do some query in his data warehouse, and he will look at some member, and he will say, oh, Purnima, you know what? Yeah, there is a field. It says if it is if the indicator says S, then it is a student. If it's a B, then it's a businessman. If it's a U, it's unemployed. Have you seen like as a HR person, you must have seen a form to fill up. There it may ask you like, are you currently employed, non-employed, unemployed, or student, or others? So those kind of questions, and you have to find solutions. Your job is to ask questions. You're not going to have answers for all the questions you ask. You ask questions to everyone else, to your seniors, to your juniors, to your colleague, who else? People should be annoyed with your questions, Purnima, okay? Never be afraid in your company to ask questions. That is the true identity of a business analyst, because you're analyzing a business. You're doing such a great job, such a big responsibility of analyzing the business of Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is like a leading provider in health services. Then you should be able to ask questions. That is your job. You should be able to question people if they are doing the job properly or not. Who knows? If you ask them question today and they said, oh, Purnima, you know what? We never could track who is a student and who is not. So it is a very good thing that I think we should be able to track people with their occupation. So let's do this. So it might be a new project tomorrow. You might be recognized for this new finding.
Right.
So you have to analyze the business properly. You have to know what is in there, how much you can do with it, how much you can improve, what is your drawback of your company. Your company is not always great. That's why they have competition. Bank of America is great, but maybe Chase is greater in some other ways, or maybe Wells Fargo is better in some other ways, right? So they always are moving ahead progressively in making themselves better than they were today. And they get help from their business analysts in this process. And you also should help your business in this process. And this process, you can only speed this process if you ask questions. Without asking questions, you won't get any answer. Without any answer, you won't get any knowledge about the business. Okay? So here yes. So again, repeating, they look inside the company. You don't have to go forward beyond the company. They look at the process, what is currently being done. Are you tracking the students? Are you tracking people by their occupations? That is the process. and the practices inside a company, and how this can be improved through the use of software technology. So if they're not tracking it, hey man, we need to track it. We need to have an indicator, yes for students, U for unemployed, E for employed. So your product on manager maybe the direction that, oh, we're going to sell this product. He's only looking outwards. How can I make it? If I sell it to 40,000 students in university of, I don't know, university of, what university, whatever, university. Yeah, saying if I can sell University of Minnesota, oh man, 30 students, I can sell it. He's only looking at that point of view. Market or multiple customers, you know, job. And is it possible for your technical, for your business to handle this pressure? Okay. Here is also again said the same thing, but you should remember this. I told you so many times in the previous class, in the first day and the second day as well. BS perform work in support of another. Okay. First thing is like you're getting requirement from your business owner, from your seniors. That itself means that they are supporting you with the requirement. Okay. Now you take the requirement, you put it in your business requirement document. Now you're supporting your technical team to understand what needs to be done and what do not need to be done. So everybody is not working with the same system, right? Java developer works with Java application. QA people work with their own testing application, whatever testing application they use. Okay. So in the group, there's like always different system. It doesn't matter what system you use. It doesn't matter if you use a Google phone. It doesn't matter whether you use iPhone. But you only know that you have to make 10 different phone calls and you have to be able to send a text message every day. That is your business requirement, right? No matter what kind of phone you use, but you know that is your goal, that is your business goal, that you should be able to make your call and you should be able to text somebody. So you need a service that allows you to do that. It doesn't matter what kind of phone you get. So your job is to make sure. Now, the requirement, what phone your company uses, you have to find out with your technical team. Is your phone going to be able to make a call? You know, Apple uses iTunes, so your requirement should be able to be compatible with that iTunes software. So those kind of system, you will be working with different groups, with different systems. So you should be like you'll be the go-to person from that. Whoever is leading that system in your company will come to you, and you will go to the business owners. You get the requirement from the business owner. You put it in the BRD, and you feed it to your technical team who are working in different systems. So that there in the company there are different systems because a company is trying to reduce the cost, or a company is trying to improve the service, or like say bring a new product to market. So I'll give you a real example. There's a reporting tool. They use a lot of sales and marketing people use that, business objects. So they use it for when they have a very large number of data and they have to run a report on the data they have in their warehouse. Okay. So this new cool tool, this recently is coming up and it's taking center stage right now. It's being very popular. It's called Tableau. You heard of that? Tableau is like a reporting software.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So what Tableau does is like you set up Tableau in your company, and
Okay.
for sales and marketing people, it gives your data in like different, like visually very attractive way. Like you go to your phone and you check the weather today, right? Instead of saying that it's 55 degrees outside, it will also give you certain like pictures. If it's snowing, then it's like snow effect on your phone. You know, if it's sunshine, then your phone has a picture of sun in the background whenever you check the weather. So it's very graphically very attractive, visually very friendly. So our company, my company, is also trying to bring in the new Tableau in our company. So those are the new system. It is bringing in Tableau because it's easier for salespeople to track different data. Okay, how many new customers we made in 1 month? So the Tableau will give like different colorful graph, the new people added in the month. It will just say numbers, maybe in bright colors. How many people dropped from our company, you know? So business is always investing money in different systems because they want the return of investment in the long run. So you're working with people who are working in different systems, but you are one person. It's like one-to-many relationship. You are one person, but there are many. There are like 5 different people working in 5 different systems, but you are not concerned with whatever they use, but you are concerned in whatever they need to do for you or for the business. Okay, so if if, if you have some questions whenever I'm explaining you, feel free. Okay, feel
Yeah,
free
yeah,
to
sure.
ask. Yeah. So just saying here that sometimes business analyst is also called system analyst. Because you need to know whatever your system is, right? Whenever I say system analyst, it's because you have to understand the system. When your manager or when your CEO of the company said, we need to be able to sell it to the students. So as a business analyst, you should know, are you tracking the students right now? Or, you know, are you, what is your what is your competition like? What is your current status of your company? Do you have a lot of students enrolled in your policy right now? So you have to go and find out all those, you know, what kind of system you have. And it's the same job, but it's like a different titles, you know. So don't worry about system analyst. If they call you assistant product manager, don't worry about it. You know, some people, some company, they have business system analyst, BSA they call it. So titles doesn't really matter if you know the work that goes into it. So just wanted to let you know, business analyst, system analyst, and business system analyst are almost the same bucket. You know, they're probably the same kind of work that you do. And the class I'm teaching you right now, and if you grab everything, then you won't have any problem. Either you have to take up a role as a system analyst, or you have to take up a role as a business analyst, or you have to take a role as a business system analyst. So you're ready for that if you grab everything that I teach to you. So again, BA are concerned with the analysis of the systems, the processes, the practices, and operations within an organization. They are tasked with understanding these things and proposing changes. So when it says they are tasked with understanding these things and proposing changes, I mentioned some kind of changes that you as a business analyst would propose to the business. If you remember, you can tell me. If you don't remember, I can repeat it for you. I said if the business is lacking something today, you can propose it, and maybe it could be a new project. And I mentioned something. If you remember, you can tell me.
Okay.
Do you?
I didn't get you. What exactly you mean?
Yeah. So the highlighted part here is that business analysts are tasked, they are responsible with understanding these things. These things means the process, practice, and operations of our organization, and proposing changes. Like if it needs to be changed, then you should be able to propose that change to the business, saying that, hey guys, we can make it by doing this right now. We don't have the capacity to do this, but in the future, to make our better. You know? So
Okay.
I mentioned some kind of example. So like you forgot it off your mouth, no problem, I'll again. So we want to tell the police students in the Minneapolis area, but we don't have any way to track who is a student or who is not. That is our drawback, that weakness of our company today. We are not being able to track people according to their profession.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if we go to our data warehouse today, all we have is member's name, member's address, member's zip code, member's city. We know we need Minneapolis. We can bring Minneapolis people only by filtering them by the city they live in. We have the, like I said, we have member's name, member's address, zip code, member's state, city, and member's date of birth, member's social security number, everything we have about the member. But we don't have the identification of whether that member is a doctor or whether that member is a professor, student, pilot, engineer, or anything. Or maybe they're unemployed, or maybe they are injured, or on a unemployment, like what do you call that? Social, that benefit thing they get from the government, right? So we don't have any way to track our members' profession today. So that is a weakness of the business, right? If you could track people by their profession, then you could send them out mails according to their profession. You can, to the doctors, you could send them like information about new hospitals. To the students, you could send them about new internship programs or something like that, marketing. So that data can be used for so many different purposes if you had the ability to track people by their profession. But in your company, you do not have any way of doing that. So that is your current process. So whenever it says business analysts are, I don't know why it keeps coming. So business analysts are concerned with the analysis of system, processes, practices, and operations within an organization. So not being able to track people according to their profession is the current process for a business, right? So that is a drawback of your business. Now you as a business analyst, you found out that, oh man, we are not being able to track people according to their profession. Then you do some analysis and you said, it would be so much helpful that if you can track people by their profession, then it could help the business in the future, making more profit for them. So you should be proposing the change. That what it means to propose the changes. First, you understood the process, right? Mm-hmm. Understanding these things. Then you propose what can be the changes. All right. Sometimes you might be doing the wrong thing in business. Your business could be tracking the wrong data. So that is also a way to, there is also a chance to find out, oh, we are doing this wrong till today and we have to change it. We cannot, do something like this. For example, I'll tell you, Bank of America gives you a debit card for students with no monthly servicing fee. If you have a Bank of America debit card, right? So you are charged $12 monthly servicing fee if you get a Bank of America debit card. But it's telling you, if you are a student, then you're going to get it free student checking account. Okay. Then there is certain terms and conditions. It says students has to be between 18 and 25 years old. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I enrolled in the Bank of America when I'm 24 years old, and the Bank of America gives me a debit card which is valid for next 5 years. Okay. So after I turned 25 within 1 more year, right? I was 24 when I got the free student checking card, and next year I became 25. So this should be the process that after 25 I should be charged like the other normal people do, right? Because I'm no longer I no longer fall into that category. It says students who are between 18 to 25 will get a free student checking account. But after I cross 25, my debit card should also be charged $12 monthly fee, isn't it? According to the rule.
Yes.
But our data warehouse, our system is not being able to track people who just turned 25. We should be able to track people. Oh, this guy just turned 25. We should have a indicator. So we should have an indicator saying that, oh, this guy is just turned 25, so we should be starting to charge him. So if we fail to do that, then it is the loss for the business. Okay? So everything I am teaching you right now falls under the understanding and capturing business needs. These are the types of needs for the business that you have to understand, and you have to capture them in your documents. So is it making sense to you?
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay. So just give me a 1 minute break here, okay?
Yeah, sure. Please.
Okay. Okay, I'm back. So, if you have to summarize like whatever we discussed so far, so what can you remember without looking at your notes, without looking at your Google, without looking at my screen, without asking your husband, like what is the top of your head? What can you think of?
I guess learn about the differences between business analyst and the product manager's role, as well as the understanding the business need and how to, some kind of idea about business strategy. But yes,
Okay.
I do have to go through the recording session once again.
Well, most of the time, what is the need of a business?
What is the need of the business? Yeah, the need of the business is, the companies, as for the business need, that is a particular need by the company, for a particular project to get lucrative deals and attracting the clients, revenue. So the business.
Okay, so you almost get a lot of things. That's good. But your answer should be the business need for the company is to save cost and increase profit. That is the goal of every business. They want to save their expenses, whatever they're spending today. They want to cut cost. They want to hire only 2 people and do all the work if possible instead of hiring 5 people. But they want to bring more profit. That's why they hired you as a business analyst to analyze those kind of things and help them to make more money. That is the truth. And that is how the corporate world works, right? That is the need of the business.
Right.
Okay? So as a business analyst, you always work for business to help them drive to their business goal, which is making profit, to save them the cost, but at the same time, you have to know what the system is so that you can work within the system. If you have a Apple computer, then you should know what kind of software is compatible with the computer. I mean the Apple computer. If you have a Windows, then you have to know what kind of software is useful for the Windows. So that is what you call understanding the business needs. Okay. That is what is called capturing the business needs. So first you understand them, then you capture them in a document. Okay. So here is saying, it is unlikely the business analyst will have responsibility for revenue or cost saving, but they will need to include these in their analysis. You have to be able to say, if I do this, then the company will save $10 today. You don't have to spend, you're not spending any money from your pocket for the business, right? And you are not getting any profit in your pocket as a business analyst, but you have to at least help them in their analysis. You have to let them know, hey guys, if you, if Bank of America buys the, you know, the debit card, the debit card is a card, right? They maybe buy it from China or somewhere. You should be able to say, hey guys, if you can, you know, come up with a different, maybe a thinner debit card, then it might save costs for the company. That is the business analysis. So you won't like directly take part in making the decision, but you just give them the analysis. If you do, then it can happen. And if your business likes your idea, then more people, and it becomes a part of yours. So that is the roles of business analyst. So here I'm saying business analyst acts as an internal consultant. That means you work inside, you work for the people inside the company. You're not going out selling a product. You're not going out asking somebody to buy your product. But you are working inside a company to make things better than they were today, to make things more easier for people than they were today, to makes things more smooth than they were today. All the process, we have to make it more better, that the people who are doing yesterday should make should find it more value in more efficiently. You know, we should do more productivity should be increased, more efficiencies should be increased. So here in the last point, it says business analysts are concerned with what. You have to know what is there. You know, you're going to detail, but your product manager, or it can be also be with the project manager, they are only concerned with when. They are concerned with when can I sell it, when this project will be completed, when this project will go live, when can I start selling the product. That is their concern. That is their responsibility. But your responsibility is not when. Your responsibility is doing the right thing. Your business has just asked you to say, saying that, not asked you, they have just ordered you saying that, oh, I'm trying to sell this product to students below 30 years of old, and we're living in Minneapolis, and we're students. Then you should go into detail of what. You should tell them, like, are you only selling it to the community college students, or you're excluding them? Are you selling it to the private universities, or only? So those kind of questions. So you have to go into depth of what of a project rather than when. So should I go to a different PowerPoint, or what do you want to do?
I think I think today it is fine for me to get all these details about the business analyst role and everything. I will go through this document and I probably will have some more question to ask you. So,
So are we taking notes or not?
yes, definitely.
Because within 1 month I want you to work in a business analyst rather than a HR department. Okay.
Oh, wow. Sure, definitely.
I mean, why? Like it's possible. Like I've seen some of the fresh graduate from college in my company. They are coming here to work, and the company hires them, saying that the company has a policy that they hire fresh graduates also. They call it the entry level job. Of course, they don't get paid so much, but what happens is the company.
Yeah, that's really great. I mean, I'm also looking for some kind of opportunity like this, so that I'm not concerned about the pay, but I just want to learn. Practically or something like that.
Oh, okay. So I just had a quick power presentation, just like what is the question of business analyst,
Sure.
So
am I going to get this documents?
You can. I can send it to you, or you can also ask it to Arjun. Arjun will have it, or I'll send it to Arjun and he'll send it to you.
Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah. But I don't want you to depend on getting it, because if you...
No, I will just go through the document theoretically, but practically you have to do.
We tend to get lazy, whenever we get too many risks. So can you read me this first paragraph, like here?
Utilize their techniques, skills, and abilities required to clearly define a problem faced by the business. Working with the development team, the BA determines the scope of the solution to the problem.
So that sounds similar to something I already explained to you?
Right.
True, right? So you should utilize all your techniques, all your skills and abilities. You cannot just say that, okay, somebody tells you one line, and there's it for if you look at it from the overview, it's a very easy statement. You want to sell a product to students. Oh, okay, I'm going to sell it to students. So easy. No, you have with your techniques, your skills, you have to go into depth. So, and you don't get only the requirement, but you have to make sure your team will be able to, work with that requirement. So it says working with the development team. And then you say, okay, this is going to be a huge project, or this is going to be an easy project. We already have the students in our data warehouse. We're just going to pull up their result, and we're just going to send them a mail saying that you're eligible for this new insurance plan. Please come and join, or please come and apply for this plan or product. So you'll have to find out what it's going to be like. So again, a business analyst is a business analyst. You have to work with the business, but you are not in any way, you are not a project manager, you're not going to do a job of quality testing, you're not going to do a technical designing, you're not a coder, you're not an implementer, nothing. You just go in there, you just ask questions to people, and you make sure you are getting the answers back. Because you ask questions to people and they say, well, Purnima, I don't have the answer today. Can I get back to you after 2 days? Let me do some research. Your job is to go after 2 days and say that if he hasn't sent you the answer, you have to go them and remind them, where is my answer? Of course, in a polite way, right? You'll go back and say, hey, you said you'll get back in 2 days. Do you have the answer yet? And if he gives the answer, then you put it in the BRD document. These are the knowledge areas that you're gonna be working on.
What is the third point? Elicited.
I was gonna ask you that. Elicitation, okay. So let's Google that. I know the answer, but I just want to show you. Elicitation means to bring something forward by discussion, like brainstorming or something. So, come on. Elicitation. Collecting intelligence information from people. Okay. So let me get another one. So I've said like elitization is like to bring something collectively, like from people, brainstorming the ideas, you know. So I just wanted to Google something with you on the screen so that you also know how to find answers with the questions you have. So it says, is the practice of collecting the requirement of a system from users, customers, and other stakeholders. Okay, so as a business analyst, you're going to do that a lot, depending on the type of business that you're working on. So you're working for Bank of America today, okay, Purnima? So you are trying to introduce a new debit card that says platinum, very like a VIP card to only like rich people or something like that. So the elicitation process is gonna help you that, okay, how the users can use it, you know, from the if you want to be able to use it as an ATM card, what are the process? You take the card, you go to ATM, and what are the process that the person has to do to withdraw his money? Okay, is it better if you can go and if you can insert the card, give his thumbprint, and you get the money? Is that a better way? Or if it's gonna go there, you know, he give his phone number and then his PIN number. So what do? You gather a lot of people, you gather the users, you gather the subject matter expert, and you decide what is the best way the company can decide the process. Okay, so to this question, I'm going to go into detail here. So please read this for me. Number 3.
Elicitation requirement gathering is the practice of collecting the requirements of a system from users, customers, and other stakeholders.
Yes.
Bullet point,
so
like.
Yes, that is what is. We are still in requirements. All we're going to talk as a business analyst is requirements, requirements, and requirements. So it is a practice of collecting the requirement of a system. It's not like different system now. Okay, you are now focusing on one system. Okay, so if you're focusing on your laptop today, you're gonna focus on, like, you turn on the power button on. Your first boot of Windows gonna come. You're gonna see a logo of your Windows, you know. Then your start home button comes up. So you take up capture all the process of the business. What is gonna happen? I mean, even that design of the computer. Like what phone do you use right now? Like an Android or Google, like Apple phone? Apple? iPhone. So when you turn on the iPhone, it first gives you a logo of Apple before it goes to your home screen, right? So the Apple might have gone through elicitation process there, sitting down with the users or customers and all the designers and everyone, saying that what is the best way we can give users the visual experience. So they said, okay, let's put the company's logo first, and after like 10 10 seconds, give them the home page. So those are all the preparation and the conducting the activity itself, and then you document the results. What happened, like what happens when you do this, what happens when you do that. So you decide on one result and you just conform it. So here are a lot of requirements going on. So these are the type of requirement that you'll see in business. So today, the module, the syllabus of the class was understanding and capturing the business requirements, the requirement of the business. Okay, so I brought this PowerPoint saying that what are some examples, the real examples of the goals of the business you might hear. So this one sounds like a high-level business goal. So it is saying expand the number of customers we have by 50% next year. So that is a goal for you. Your manager is going to come. We're going to expand the number of customers this year. We're going to have more people buying our health insurance. So then you'll ask why it is important. What is the business case for the project? So this is the requirement for you. This is the first. The middle line is the requirement for you. It's a very high level. You don't know how to do that. How they're going to increase? You don't know. They just told you they are planning to increase the customers by 50% next year. Are they giving more discounts to attract people? Are they coming up with new products? Are they spending more money? You don't know now. You just got a requirement right now. You have to go into more detail. You have to conduct more meetings to find out. Okay? So that was the example of a business requirement, like a high level. Okay? So this is a use case requirement. Customer will be able to plan an adventure. Okay, there's a use case. Where's the other one? Okay. Sounds like quality characteristic that the system should possess. Example is performance or security. It can be like the company might be thinking about upgrading its systems. It might be thinking of making whatever the systems you're using better than today. Maybe your employees are using Windows 97, which is very old operating system. Now it is trying to give your employees the latest, whatever, 2014, 15 Windows, So maybe that helps them in maintaining their secure data, in maintaining the security of the company's data. So that's like the quality attribute kind of requirement. That's like more of an internal requirement for the company. That helps with the quality of service to the users. It might have a lot of reasons. I just gave you one example, like, upgrading the operating system can help its employees to work faster. Work faster means more work done. More work done means, more profit or more a more efficient workload in the company. So data definition, example. If I enter a name, I want to see their address. So if I enter a name, your company might, you would be like, if I enter Minneapolis as address, I want to see the list of people who are living in Minneapolis. That could be your data definition. That could be one of the requirements. Okay. I'm just giving you a hint of type of requirement. Functional requirement. Just read this one from me.
Types of requirements sounds like a single statement of one individual function, will or shall statements. Example, with the correct 4-digit PIN, the system will allow the user access the ATM machine. Why it's important?
Yeah.
These are the detailed functional requirement of the system. Okay.
Great. So you'd asked me, I remember you asked me on the first day, will you be teaching me the functional FRD also? I think that's what you asked me, or you asked me what is a FRD?
Yes, what
right?
is FRD?
This is an example of functional requirement right here. In the BRD, whatever you're gonna say is like you're gonna sell the debit cards to the customers, right?
Mhm.
You're not gonna tell this is a business requirement. You're gonna provide the customers with a debit card. But the FRD, and I told you, BRD is a parent kind of document, and FRD is a child kind of document. BRD comes first, and FRD comes second. FRD is like a child, kid of the BRD. From BRD, you make the FRD. So now the FRD is going to go into detail how the user is going to use the debit card that you just sold to them. How exactly functions, how exactly it has to work. There is no maybe or could be. There you have to be deep, like sure, like how if you sell a car, Toyota car today, you should be able to tell customer if you click this button, then your door will open. That is a functional requirement, right? That is a function there. Got it?
Mhm.
You have an iPhone there, and the iPhone has a volume button, and it has a plus, it has a minus. It's telling you if you press the plus,
Its volume is going to be
then the volume is
louder.
going to increase. If you press the, that's a function, right? That is not.
Mhm.
It is not telling you that we are trying to, and the business requirement document will be saying that we'll provide customers with ability to control their volume. And that's all the business going to say. Okay. Now the functional requirement will say, yes, we're going to be able to allow the users to control their volume by adding two buttons. The plus button will increase the volume and the minus button will decrease the volume. That is the functional requirement. So does that make sense to you right now? If you read that example for me one more time, please.
Sure. Sounds like a single statement of one individual function, will or shall statement. Example, with the correct 4-digit PIN, the system will allow the user access the ATM machine. Why is this
Okay,
important?
stop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you write a functional requirement, it's clearly telling you how to write it. You have to write in the senses of will or shall. Because it's a
Okay.
function, you should say when I click the switch, the bulb will glow. Okay. When I turn the key to the right in my car, the engine will start. So
Mm-hmm.
you cannot have any other kind of statement there because it's a function. So it has to sound like a single statement of one function. So you are saying the users with the correct, not wrong, with the correct 4 digits. See how detailed you are going. Yeah, you could say with the correct digit pin, right? With your correct pin number, you should be able to go to the ATM machine. But you're saying like the detail, correct 4-digit pin, the system will allow. It's not saying may or anything other. The system will, because that's a function. That means with the incorrect 4-digit pin, the system will not allow the users to access the ATM machine.
Right.
And why these are important? These are the detailed function requirement of the system. If you put in 3-digit, it's not going to take. If you put in 2-digit, it is not going to take. It has to be correct 4-digit pin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So this is also more data oriented. It's also a type of requirement. Sometimes people, your business should be able to get a. So you perform a search, get a result. You go to what do you call? Let's go to one website today. Any of your favorite? Okay, I was looking at sunglasses today, to be honest. So let's go to this. This is the website. This is the company Raven. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say,
I like
yeah,
the card.
yeah. If I go to search here, I say I want to see the results, view all the results, search results, right? So it's basically telling me that these are the results that of the women's sunglasses. Okay. Now let's connect this to this. Sounds like getting information from or giving information out. So what is happening in this process? When I hit women's, I'm getting the information, and the Raven is giving information out. So it is giving me the information for women. It is feeding me with some kind of information. That's what it says here. But I'm at the same time from the website, from the Raven, whatever Raven has in their data warehouse, saying that, oh, these are for women, these are for men, these are for both unisex. So when I go here and search for women, then I'm getting the results from them. That's what it says. Getting information from or giving the information out. They are giving the information out. I'm getting it from them, right? So example is perform a search, get a result. Clear?
Yeah.
So this is like something I explained. Sounds like a limitation of the solution or implementation. The user interface UI has to function with the IE8 and above. So what happens is like somebody sends you a file today in your laptop or maybe in your phone. Okay, somebody sends you a picture, but the picture cannot be opened because it was sent from a Google Android phone and your phone is an iPhone, right? So there are some kind of the system incompatibility, the design constraint should be concerned. So you have to tell your friends whether he should or he or she should send you the picture in the format that your phone allows you to view it. So these are the design constraints. So these are whatever I'm explaining so far. These all comes under the type of requirement. So you are getting a very good opportunity right now to look at what kind of requirement the business might have. When you go work in the business, it is not always the same kind of requirement. Sometimes you have design requirements, sometimes you have this kind of requirement, sometimes you have functional requirements. So these are the types of requirements that you should work with. So solution, yeah, this is also a requirement. So we will only be able to accept electronic application. So solution idea is that your company is getting a lot of loss in the company because it's accepting check, and sometimes the check are bouncing, sometimes you get fake checks, so that is a problem now. So you're saying from this year onwards, your payment has to be from a secure debit card. We'll only accept debit card payment, no more check or no more money order. That is a solution for some of the problem you had. Okay, so it's like sounds like a solution. We are a statement of a design. You are making a statement. Here is this guy is making a statement. We will only be able to accept only electronic applications. So you cannot file a paper application because maybe this company faced a lot of problem. File a paper application, maybe the spelling or handwriting of the people were not clear, so they were getting the spelling wrong of the members. Maybe the paper application were getting lost in the mail, right? So maybe the paper application were like not in good state, like maybe people were soaking them in water, maybe they're old, or so they're saying they will only accept the electronic application. So it's a solution for the company, because if they do this, then it's easy for them to track the applications. They'll just go online and they'll just get emailed, and they don't have to wait for any application in the mail. So it's easy for them. So so that you have to know if you give a solution, but what was the problem? So when I said we only accept debit cards, we don't accept cash, because there were a lot of like fake bills coming, you know, and our cashiers were not being able to recognize them. So instead of dealing with the problem, we just said we only accept the debit card payments. Okay, so that could be one of the requirements. So okay. Here it says business rule. Customers must be registered before they can use the ATM machine. What is the other example you can give of a business rule? If you look at this example, what are the other examples that you can think of?
It's like an website also we can provide that when
Yes.
we apply for a
Yeah.
job to a particular
Yes.
company's website, we have to register to that particular
Yes.
website.
Awesome. See, you're thinking. So why the company is doing that? Why they're making it a rule for you to to become, for the register first, get a username and asking for your your username, email address, password. Why they are doing this? They must have some kind of
There are some
need.
privacy and want to get the identity for the particular person so that it should not be a spam person or something like that.
True. So if they had allowed anyone to go to dice.com today and apply for a job with just one click, for the person just to click all day, and he will be applying to 10,000 positions in a day, right? But they want to only encourage the people who have an account, right? So they're saying customers must be registered before they can use the ATM machine. So not all the people can come and use the ATM machine. So if you are a registered person, you go to ATM machine and use it, your data, your credential is being tracked by the company. So that if anything goes wrong, they can track you. So that's a business rule. You must be registered. So those kind of rules your business might have also.
Got it.
So these are all like what you call standard business analyst work. Solution assessment and validation. Don't be fooled by the language they're using. It's just like you have to come up with the solutions and you have to make sure that the solution works. That what is called validate. You have to make sure, like making sure word is called validation. So you think of a solution today, then you say, for example, the ATM machine is asking you for a 4-digit PIN, right? So you should be able to say like, oh, it's okay, a 4-digit, people can remember 4-digit. What if you say, oh, let's design an ATM machine that asks users with 9-digit PIN number? It is not a good approach, right? How can you remember 9-digit PIN number? I mean, you can if you regularly, but like usually humans don't like to remember like 9 digits, isn't it? Like sometimes you forget phone numbers of people because it's like almost 9 or 10 digits. So some short PIN number the company designed. So that solution was validated by all the users. I said, oh yeah, 4-digit PIN number works. Yeah, it's short and people can remember, and at the same time it's safe. It's 4-digit. People cannot guess 4-digit number. I mean, the probability of getting a right PIN number or guessing somebody's PIN number is like 1 in million or something. So yeah, we can go with this solution. So you have to access first what is the solution, and you have to make sure that it works. Okay. So same thing, manage the solution scope and requirement. You have to, we're going to come in the traceability matrix document. We're going to do that. And just I keep telling you all the time, communicate requirements. You have to communicate, communicate, and communicate. So Just letting you know what happens in the corporate world. If you're working for a business domain, like a, you know, Bank of America or Chase, JP Morgan, then it's going to be more of like a this kind of hierarchy in the corporate world that you work. There will be some users, actors, means not the actor like you looking for actors in movies or something. Okay, the people who are acting as a user. So you have your subject matter expert, and with these people you will work. But if you go to solution domain, some technological company, then they will have a lot of developers, testers, they will have architects. You know, and I think this is not fully. I think this list here, this everything applies here also. I'll do that later. So I'm sorry, the class is going a little bit way ahead today, but just wanted to.
Until 5:30.
Sorry.
I can attend till 5:30.
Oh, okay, okay, great, sure. So let's just read this first. I mean, the typical role of a BA. So,
Roll off.
BA, yeah, you'll be the facilitator. Like you'll be facilitating people's communication. You'll let the developer talk to the business. You let the business talk to you and to the developer through you. So you are the liaison between the business organization and the solution developer. So the solution means who is providing the solution by coding, by testing it, you know, technological solutions. So you'll, like I said, you'll understand the problem and what needs to be done, and you'll make sure that whatever solutions you come is like valid, understood, and met. I think, Purnima, I don't know how much you agree, but I think I'm being very clear in examples that I give you. Explain you as much in detail I can. So validation, we said in the previous here, it says solution assessment and validation, and if you come here, it says the same thing, and you have to ensure the needs are valid, understood, and met. Okay, the needs should be like really reasonable. You cannot say our company is trying to double the profit like by 500% this year. That is very unrealistic need. You know, it should be realistic. Maybe 150% is reachable. But within a year, how can you do 500% more profit? Unless there are like very huge changes in the structure of the company, you know. So you have to identify, validate, and document the requirements that you get from the business. You have to make sure that the solution satisfies the need. First, you need to know if the needs are okay, and if they're okay, then you have to find the solutions for the need, how to satisfy the need, how to complete those needs, you know. And you should always advocate for the business. That's what I was saying. You have to always analyze the problems. You should always suggest the business for how can you make it better tomorrow compared to today. So you should always keep your mind open for any kind of new ideas, you know, and you should be in communication all the time. So good requirements are essential for project success. It is important to know what a good requirement sounds like. There is cost associated with missed or ambiguous requirements that can be quite large. If you remember, I told you like every small word that you write has such a big impact on the other people who's going to read your business requirement document, right? So if you miss something or if something wasn't clear to other people here, somebody understood something wrong from your requirement, then there will be a cost associated with just one word that you write in the Microsoft Word. How much difference it will come, I'll show you. Before that, let's just getting the requirement right can save substantial rework, time, and money. Requirement engineering involves developing and managing requirements. So let me see how much time or money it costs. So it says cost of requirement errors. Relative cost to repair defect at different project lifecycle. Here is the first phase. You see the $1 sign here? So that is the phase the business requirement, business analyst is active. So you talk to the business and something goes wrong and you change it. It's no big deal. It probably costs you like $1 to change it. You just have to go back to your document and just change it. But once you capture the requirement, once everybody sign off, everybody said, okay, it's clear, okay, let's move ahead with the project. Everybody is starting their work, the developer is starting coding, the QA is starting the coding already, and you're saying, oh, hold on. Instead of 30 years of old, we have to make sure the students has to be 35 years old. Then you have to change something in the design that the developer have designed. If you want to change the project at that time, it will cost you $5 instead of $1 difference. Okay. And then if you do it in the later phase when the developers had built something already, and if you want to change it now, it will cost you $10. If the QA has already tested it, if the developers build it and the QA also tested it, saying that, okay, we're almost testing, it looks good, and if you want to change something here, then it will cost you 20. The more ahead you go with the project and you want to change something, you want the relative cost to repair will increase, keep increasing. Okay, so your requirement is very, very necessary. That creating a come to the same point again. I showed you on the first and second day. It's very important. Creating a requirement document is really about packaging the requirement from all the people, and you package it into your MS Word and you send it out to it. For everyone, it is like the Bible. It is like the, what do you call in Hindu, the Gita or anything. It is like a technical spec. Everybody will read it. Everybody will start working according to that. Okay? So that's it. We conclude for today. You can Google something on the International Institute of Business Analysts. I've been certified for that also. And if you have a question, you can always email me in my email address. It says, hope you enjoyed the presentation, Purnima.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Neeraj.
Yeah.